Okay, so let's restart this. Let's start again. Let's see if it works. I hope you can now hear me. Um, we're talking about goals, and I have a question for you today. The question that I have for you today is, at the beginning of the year, you set these fundamental goals or resolutions, right, for yourself, and you said, I want to have done ABC. I want to have achieved ABC or one, two, three by the end of 2021. The question for you is, have you actually started achieving these things? Are you on track? If you're not on track, what are the things that you need to do in order for you to become to be on track again? The other question that we're asking is, have you had to carry forward goals from 2020? And if you have had to carry goals from 2020, it is not a strength smash. We all know what happened in 2020. We all know that there was this huge pandemic in the world, and because of that, there were things beyond our control that made sure that we didn't achieve these goals. So if that is the case, by all means, please do carry forward your goals to 2021. But if there were things that you could control that stopped you from achieving your goals from 2020, then you have yourself to blame. Right? You could have done things better. But don't lose hope. There's still hope for you. What you can still do here is to look at your goals and say, what is it that I could have done differently in 2020? And what is it that I can now do differently in 2021 for me to achieve my 2020 goals and my 2021 goals? So let's look at a few things that can help you to realize and to achieve your goals for 2021. The first thing, let's talk about accountability partners. So when we talk about accountability partners, we're talking about that one person, that one extra person that can nudge you from time to time and say, hey, Lars, what's going on? Are you on track with your goals? Have you realized your goals for 2021? You said you're going to be doing this by March. Where are you now? So who are these people? These people can be your friends, right? People you trust. This can be your wife. This can be your spouse. People that you can trust. People that will come to you at various points and ask you how you're doing. These people can be your bankers, right? Your private banker or your bank, because you can go to them and say, hey, look, I want to do this and that. I want to buy a house by September. I want to buy a house by December, whatever it is. And I promise you, when that time comes, they will call you and they'll ask you, how far are you? Can we now put in motion that house thing that you're talking about at the beginning of the year? The other accountability partner that you can make use of here is your financial advisor. And when you talk about financial advisors, we're not talking about those guys that will sell you insurance policies. We're talking about those guys that will actually help you realize your goals. Those guys that will say to you, hey, Lars, what are your goals for 2020, for 2021? And I'll say, well, maybe I want to pay off my car, maybe I want to pay off my credit card, maybe I want to travel the world, maybe I want to start running, whatever it is. And they will say, from a finance point of view, what are the things that we can do or that you can do to make sure that you realize these goals? And that will help you formalize and even redraft your budget, move things around. Because let's be honest, if someone else looks at your finances with a fresh eye, they are bound to see things that you personally wouldn't have seen when you were doing your own financial plan. And that's the benefit of having these guys on board. The second thing is to look at things that you can control. So instead of focusing on your bigger goals, you need to focus on the small things that you can control. So, say for example, you want to lose weight and you want to lose 30 kgs of weight by the end of the year. Do not focus on this because you cannot control whether or not you can lose 30 kgs by the end of the year. But what you can control is these small things that or these behaviors that can lead you into losing 30 kgs by the end of the year. So what do we mean by that? You know your eating habits, you know your exercising habits, you know your sleeping habits, you know all these other things that can make you lose weight. So instead of focusing on the 30 kgs, focus on these behaviors that will ultimately lead you to losing weight. So that applies to any other goal. Instead of focusing on the bigger goal, you need to be focusing on the little things, the little behaviors that you can, control for you to be able to achieve these goals. Number three, the other thing that you can do is instead of focusing on the bigger picture, you need to be making small marginal changes to your everyday life. And I'll give an example here. If your goal is to read 12 or 15 books by the end of this year, or 52 books by the end of this year. So that's one book a week. Right? If your goal is to read 52 books by the end of the year, instead of focusing on these 52 books, saying, I want to read 52 books, focus on the small marginal things that you can do for you to achieve this goal. So, what do I mean by that? You could say to yourself, well, I am like Lars, and I have a short concentration span. So I cannot read a book and concentrate for an hour, for 2 hours, but I know that I can focus on a paragraph at a time. I can focus on a page at a time. I can focus on a chapter at a time. I can focus on 3 words at a time. So do those things. Focus on a paragraph in the morning, a paragraph in the afternoon, a paragraph in the evening, a page in the morning, a page in the afternoon, a page in the evening, whatever works for you. So that by the end of the day, by the end of the week, or by the end of the month, you've actually built a behavior, a pattern of you reading, a pattern and a behavior for you achieving these specific goals. From a technology point of view, we used to write notes and we put stuff on the fridge, stuff on the wall, and say, hey, I want to do A, B, C, I want to do these things. Well, that time is over. We need to be using technology. So you can use tools like Trello, you can use tools like Asana, tools like Monday.com. You could even use a live document like Google Docs, something that you can check and you can share with your accountability partners. From a finance point of view, this from a budgeting point of view, the other budgeting tools that you could use your banking platform. They do have these built-in systems that you can make use of, or you can use something like 22/7, something that tracks your finances and something that will remind you when you are exceeding or approaching your budget limits. Well, this is all from me today. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's help each other achieve our goals for 2021. I hope this was good for you. Thank you for watching. You have a good one. Cheers. Bye.